welcome back to DXB today. Great to have your company. I hope you're enjoying our horse special here today, focusing on all things equestrian in all its various guises. Next guest is helping individuals and businesses thrive by using the intuition of horses. Please welcome Monica Kubik, the founder of FeelQuest, who's joined us live here on the show. Really appreciate your time. Thanks for joining us.
No, thank you for having me. It's a pleasure.
No, it's a good episode. It's our horsey special. Talk to me about FeelQuest then. You've set it up. The thinking behind FeelQuest.
Yes, so it's a little bit different, but same like Alice. I've always been passionate about horses. I never really thought about working or having horses as a career because I didn't want to go into the sport, so instead I went to study economics. And then about 10 years ago, it was the first time that I read about coaching with horses, helping corporate leaders with horses, and I was intrigued. And it all made sense to me then. And yeah, I went off to Germany to get trained. And like you said earlier, the horse world is so big here, you know, and it plays such an important role that I said I have to bring this to the UAE.
Amazing. I know my friend Elodie recently did a workshop with you, and she said it was amazing, but I'm really interested to know if you could walk us through what does a leadership workshop with FeelQuest feel like?
Yes, so we help leaders really see the human side. So it's a little bit about taking people out of the office, out of the boardroom, and having quite honest and open conversations that the horses facilitate. There's something about being in their presence and them giving us such genuine, honest feedback that you can't help but just be really grounded and open-minded with each other. So we help companies talk differently to each other, communicate better, and just get to know themselves much better.
Amazing.
Monica, I know this already, but what can you tell the audience what horses can teach corporate people, something that PowerPoint and other programs can't teach them?
So if you think about it, historically, leaders and horses have always been very close. You know, all the kings are represented on a statue, riding a horse, riding into battle with a horse. And I really think that there are special traits that you learn from horses that you can't just learn from a book. You know, what is leadership? Leadership means, like Abdallah said, you have to have a long-term vision. You have to be very clear about where you want to go and what your focus is, and you have to really mean it. You have to have that charisma that a leader has. And these things are really hard to learn from a book. When you're leading a horse, you have to know what you're doing. And I get people to come into the paddock that have never touched a horse before. And some of them are immediately able to lead the horse because they have that in them. And others struggle a bit, and then we help them through the coaching to just show up differently.
Monica, I'm going to be a bit of a, I was going to say naysayer, and I didn't mean to say that. That wasn't a pun on purpose, but I'll be a naysayer, even though I totally understand how working with animals can really, help people. But I'm just thinking, there might be someone watching right now going, surely not. Surely, being with a horse, how is that going to help me in leadership? So what do you actually say to those, I'm going to say it, naysayers?
No, I have a lot of them.
Oh, right, okay, good. Okay, so yeah, tell me.
I have a lot of them because it sounds weird, like what can I learn from a horse, right? And it's just that they give you this really super authentic feedback that a human would not give you because we are polite.
But how? How are they, because they're obviously non-verbal.
Exactly.
How are they giving you this feedback?
It's just with body language, right? How do you communicate with a horse?
Okay, with your body.
With your body language, we heard that, exactly. It's not so much about the words you use, it's about how you communicate. And they just reflect that back with their body language. Maybe they will not come with you because if you're not 100% convinced, they're not going to trust you. So you have to build up the trust and that confidence in yourself, and then they will come with you. And because they're so big, it's very obvious.
They're not hiding away.
But of course, that's why we are there as the facilitators to help you interpret and make sense of whatever's happening in the session with the horses and what it means about yourself and how you're in life.
You've obviously had an impact on so many people that have done the course. Maybe just for the benefit of our viewers, give us an example of the changes that you've seen in people after the course.
Well, a lot is that, of course, that they come extremely skeptical, and then because it is such a fun way and very direct, they benefit a lot from that. But I've had people come to me and say, and sometimes they come to me after 3-4 years and say, you changed my life. And that could be, I don't know, a manager that was just on the brink of burnout And through the coaching with the horses, she realized what she had to do differently to get out of that, maybe delegate more, maybe communicate better. But I've also had a sister come to me last summer and say, you know, you saved my sister's life, because she was so depressed after COVID. She stopped going to school, she was on medication, she wouldn't leave the house, sometimes she wouldn't even get out of bed to eat breakfast. And the only thing that got her out was the horses. It was the first time she smiled again, she was out in the sunlight, and that was the breakthrough for her sister, who's now, the other day she actually reached out to me and said, you know, 4 years later my sister is now studying in the UK, and I'm so glad we did those sessions.
Oh, wow.
That's incredible.
Sounds like Amy. Amy's only ever happy on a horse.
Yeah,
near a
it's
horse.
true. It's true. It's true. They're such therapeutic animals. They've got amazing energy about them. But I quickly want to ask. Obviously, we've covered a lot on the corporate side of things. But I also know that you're working with Al Gilal Foundation, which is working with women with cancer. Is that correct? How have you made that transition from corporate to working with cancer patients?
So part of it was COVID, where we couldn't get the groups out, and I did another methodology where we work more one-on-one with clients. But for the cancer specifically, I was approached 3 years ago by an executive coach who had to stop working because she herself has cancer, and now she's coaching women and people that are diagnosed with cancer. And she said, can you help me get them out of that? We want to bring them to the horses to get them into a different state of mind. And so we ran a program for about 1.5 years, had different groups of women come out, and it's been really, really impactful. And it's the same thing. I sometimes still have relatives reaching out to me and saying it meant a lot to them.
Yeah, I can imagine.
For anyone watching, how do we actually get involved and I don't know, I see the benefits of this, because it sounds fascinating.
I mean, yeah, of course, now the season has started, the weather is beautiful, so we offer these sessions on a weekly basis. But for anybody who's maybe a bit nervous, apprehensive, scared, we offer free introductions. So if anybody wants to come and meet us, have a little introduction, maybe meet the horses, see if it's for you. That is open, and
And is it a one-off, or is it a session, a number of?
Everything. So it depends very much on what the client needs. Sometimes we do one-off corporate workshops, sometimes it's journeys where you come on a weekly basis to really work through the changes that you want to implement in your life.
Nice.
And what about you? What's the blue sky thinking? What's the dream for you? Obviously, generating a lot of interest through the courses. To build a dedicated venue?
That would be the big dream, yeah. I've been here also 19 years. I've seen a lot of change in the city, and currently there is a big focus on the wellness aspect, right? So I think the big dream would be to bring part of the horses back into the city, have some accessible venue where we can, for example, run more sessions like for people with cancer. We stopped it because of the funds. At the moment we don't have the funds to keep running it, but there is a big, big need for people to have access to such kind of therapeutic interventions, and maybe a space that's accessible also where teenagers can come and volunteer with senior people, and have really all types of communities come together and with the horses grow.
I understand that you are potentially going to offer one of our viewers an opportunity. So for those that are interested, tell us a bit more about that.
Yes, so I would love to invite anybody who really needs a session, because that's what really is so touching about the work, when you know you can help somebody. So I would suggest that if anybody feels drawn to maybe getting a session and feels I could really need this, reach out to the studio and share a little bit about your story, and you could be the one that then gets a free session with me.
That's
amazing.
lovely.
Very generous of you. Monica, really appreciate it. Thank you very much indeed. I'm sure those stories are coming flooding in already. But a big thanks to you and all the team at FeelQuest. Keep up the extraordinary work. And Alice, can't thank you enough for being our guest co-host today.
Thank you so much for having me.
Informative. It's been a lot of fun as well. So thanks so much indeed for your time.
Thank you.